Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. Hope everyone is doing okay today. Today's project, project for the next couple of days anyway, is that we're going to do a little exhaust work here on the 1994 Previa Toyota van. As you can see, my flex pipe here is separated. Alright, so what I want to do is that I want to weld in another flex pipe. And then up here on top, you can see that with this O2 sensor, I probably want to add this O2 sensor and this flange, or not really a flange, but I guess like some kind of hanger. Probably want to add that to the new flex pipe. And then back here on the cat, the secondary O2 sensor is already, that mount is all kind of ate up already with rust. I have it hold on with a wire, but it still leaks pretty good. So you drive around, you hear that. So I want to kind of seal everything up here. That's the next thing that I want to do. So it's a little dark underneath here, but hopefully you guys can understand what my next steps are. So let's go up top and see what I have. Alright guys, this is what we have up top. This is the new flex pipe that I have here. It's 2.5 inches. I probably needed 2 1/4, but let's see if we can get this 2.5 to fit in there. So I'm going to cut out that old piece, add this new piece in. Then when it gets back here to where that hanger and O2 sensor is at, I wanted to put in these new O2 sensor flanges here, like drill a hole, add these guys on there, and then add on these little studs here. I just bought these two from eBay, but I bought a new one before, but I lost it, so I bought these two. But the one that I lost, it was curved on the bottom, so it was curved, so it would sit on here easier, you know what I mean? Like it would just sit on there and you wouldn't have to worry about, see how it's a lot of spaces right here. It was already curved, and I thought this one was going to be the same, but I guess not. So I imagine that once I drill a hole in here for the O2 sensor, I may have to grind this down a little bit to get this to sit deeper, I guess, and kind of weld this in. I'll look at the adapters or flanges that's on the card now and see how that was done. This flex pipe here is I think that's the model number, but it's pretty much, I guess, 1 foot long and 2 1/4 wide. Now here's one of the O2 sensors. I'm looking for the other one now. Of course, this O2 sensor came without the gasket. I don't understand that, because I could have sworn in the pictures it had a picture of the gasket, but you know, that's cheap O2 sensors for you. And I did pick this up from Harbor Freight. This is like what do they call it? High-speed step drill bit. So when I start making a hole for the O2 sensor, you know, just put it the right size. So this should help out with that. This over here in this box here, this is an old flange that I had from years before. I never used it. This goes on the near the cat back part of it, so maybe if I feel brave enough, I'll hook that up. And this came with a 2 1/4 gasket and some nuts and bolts in it, but we'll see if we're going to do that or not. I guess the main part right now is just to get this flex pipe in, get the O2 sensor welded in. That'll take care of that. But then on the cat back side, not cat back side, but after the cat, there's another O2 sensor that's kind of beat up. I want to get that out of there as well. So we'll see what we can do here. So maybe find some more pieces and then we'll get started. Alright, just to give you guys a quick update here. My plan was to use a Sawzall to cut the flex pipe from underneath the car, but I did not have the correct blade. All I seen were, or at least in my storage here, all I have is wood blades and a couple of beat up general purpose blades. I didn't have any new thick metal blades to use, so don't be like me. Always make sure you have the tool that you need to do the job. So what I did is that I use my cutoff wheel, but I always get a little nervous using the cutoff wheel because you know there's always sparks flying and the tool tends to kick, and sometimes I'm afraid it's going to nick something else like a fuel line or a transmission line or something, and then I'll be in a world of trouble. But today it works so far. Okay, so let's get underneath here and I can show you where I'm at. See, excuse my hand here. Okay, alright, so I was able to cut this pipe with the cutoff wheel, try to keep it as straight as I could, and moving this way, this is the other side I use for the cutoff wheel. I got a couple pieces little thin metal there just to trim up, but it is off right now. You can see I had the hanger soaking, so I can push that hanger off, and then this whole metal piece here should just come out, and then we'll go back to the top side here so we can see exactly what we have to do next. But at least get this part out of the way, and then we can talk about drilling new holes for the O2 sensors, so on and so forth. Okay, so hang in there, we're trying to get it done. Alright guys, I think we're looking pretty good here. Here's the one end that I cut. Try to keep it straight as I could with the cutoff wheel. It's not that bad. And on this side here, the catalytic converter side, I got a little edge up there in the little 1 and 2 o'clock position. Oh no, that's not that bad. And if I can shine a light at this cat, that looks pretty good for a 1994 cat. Maybe it's not 1994, maybe someone else put another one on here, I don't know, but that cat looks pretty good. It's hard to kill these old cats. Okay, so here are the parts side by side. I think I did okay as far as measuring goes. I think I'll be okay if I can get this hanger and this O2 sensor onto this side. Looking at these parts here, it looks like what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to angle grind this off, this hanger, angle grind that, angle grind the backside, and this hanger part should come off. Then when it gets to the O2 sensor, see the new ones I bought, they're flat too, and it looks like, I'm gonna look online, I wonder if this is like a separate piece or this was just built up, because I would hate to have to stand here and once I remove this, remove all this welding going all the way around to get this off. See what I mean? If I put this on here, there's a lot of buildup down there. Unless these guys just use their own welding material and just bolt it up themselves. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's what I have to do. So I'll do a little research on that and see what else I can do. Now I'm sitting here wondering if this part here is big enough for the O2 sensor and the hanger. Looks like it is. Looks like the O2 sensor is like up in the hanger on the OEM part, so maybe that's what I gotta do. Put this back as far as I can and then weld the hanger around it. That's probably what I have to do. So let me do some research and I'll get back to you guys. Hey guys, I'm not sure where I left off at, so if I'm repeating some information here, I do apologize for that. So here are the two brackets that I was able to grind off of the old pipe. I'll just get a bolt and from Home Depot, a bolt, like a carriage bolt, and a nut, maybe a washer. Put this back together, okay? Now looking at the flex pipe I had here, what I did was that, not the best, but what I did is that I cut a hole into the flex pipe, right? It's kind of big enough to sit this inside there. And then I'm hoping to just weld on here, weld on this side here, weld in there and over here if I can get it. Then on the inside, just kind of clean that up with a file first and just kind of weld in there. So hopefully that's enough to hold it. Then I'll add these studs into the flange here, and that should be enough to hold the O2 sensor. So what I did in the meantime is that I watched a couple of videos on YouTube on how to weld. Looked at the ones with the best reviews and the most reviews like everyone else, and I'll follow those instructions. But at this point we got nothing to lose, so let's keep pushing forward. Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to provide a quick update on my exhaust project for my 1994 Toyota Previa. I'm out here trying to weld. I never welded before, but I tell you one thing, I want to take my hats off to all people that weld. It's a lot harder than what I thought it would be. I was very stupid for thinking that, hey, I buy a welder, watch a video, and I get to welding. Look at my welds right here, guys. I'm telling you, I have not seen this many boogies since my nephew was 3 years old. I really am trying my best to weld. I just gotta keep teaching myself how to do it and getting at it. I don't have anyone to help me. I gotta do this all by myself. So what I did here, as I explained before, I welded the flex pipe to my old cat. The good thing about it is that there's no light holes. I did get it welded all the way around, but it is ugly as sin. So I welded my flex pipe to my old cat. Then I welded the O2 flange to the flex pipe, and then I welded the old bracket onto the flange here. I also cut off this old bracket here. I guess this is a bracket that uses the exhaust hangers. I'm going to bolt that onto here and use those old rubber hangers since they were still pretty decent. I'll put that back on. Now going back here, I really boogered this one up, but I initially cut out the old O2 flange and I was going to weld in a new one, but after I cut it out, the hole was bigger than for the new O2 flange. Like, I didn't have anything like old metal to build it back up. So what I had to do is I had to weld the old O2 flange back in. I drilled out the old rusted and busted not drilled out, but cut out the old studs, and then I used the new studs that came with my new flange. I welded that in. So as you can see, man, this is pretty bad, but I only have, I think when I shine a light through, there's only one little light hole on this side, because I held it up to the sun. I put my thumb over the O2 hole, and there's like one little light thing here that I have to fix. This little, I guess, little attachment pipe here, this is what the old muffler shop did for me over in Philly, but you can see it's a stark contrast to what I've done. And this is just the end of the pipe. I just kind of try my best to flatten that off, but I got to weld it back on here. This right here was the old flange that was on my pipe here. As you can see, this is where it was attached. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this piece of metal off here, off this exhaust hanger thing here, and then try to clean this up best as I can, and I'm going to attach that back on so it'll look like this. Attach it back on, then I can put the rubber thing back on there. Okay, so let's go underneath real quick. Okay, hold on. Now underneath, you can see way up there where my header pipe is cut at, in the middle of the screen. That's where I'm going to weld in the exhaust, the flex pipe, and then come back straight to the vehicle. You have your cat, the hangers, and then here, top right part of your screen, that is the muffler that I'm going to have to connect it onto. And on my muffler back here, see right here, this rusted out. I'm going to try to clean this up and clean up the top of this muffler. Try to take this out and then weld it back on, so at least the muffler itself will sit, rotate up and stick out the back the way it should be. See, I rotate it again. Once I put it up there, that'll be up there. And then on this side of the muffler, see, this hanger here is still on. This is a little rusty, but this hanger is still on. And then up here, I'll just connect that rubber back on this exhaust hanger here. So when it rotates, when it rotates up, it should be hanging like this out the back of the vehicle, and it'll be reconnected up there. And here, as you can see, is already connected. So I got a little bit more welding to do, but again, I'll take my hat off to all the guys that weld. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying the best that I can, but you gotta start somewhere. I'm just doing this video just to give you other guys up there hope as far as welding goes. You know what I mean? If you find a welder on Facebook Marketplace, 40 bucks, or you buy a new one for 100 bucks, let's give it a go, man. Just practice more than what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. I have no help, so this is where we are. And this is my 1994 270,000 mile, well actually 268,000 mile work van. So it's not going to get all the 10 to 11 care, but I'm trying my best. Alright, let me keep at it, and I'll update you guys in a second. Okay, just want to give a quick update as to where I'm at. I have the muffler off, as you can see here. And what I did is that I grind it down, well not grind down, but kind of clean up this part of the muffler here where the rear hanger was at. This was the rear hanger that was still on the car, so this hanger faced forward, not backwards like that one. So I'm going to try to weld that back onto here. Alright, so that could be used as a hanger, of course. I tried to smooth out these two pipe, well, the cat and the flex pipe that we put together. I tried to smooth that out with this as much as I could, so when we up underneath the car, maybe you can kind of get it together, tack weld it as best we can, and then try to weld it. It fits a little better than that, but you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. This other hanger here, I cut this off, that piece. I'm going to take this hanger and I'm going to weld it back on to the pipe here where it belongs, underneath here, and that's where I cleared it. I tried to clean that up, so when I weld it back on, it should be something like this, welded on and facing forward like the other one up here, hopefully. Alright, and on this up here, I found some nuts and bolts in my bucket here. I put them on. I didn't tighten it yet. I think I'm gonna put some red lock, tight lock on there or something to tighten this down. And I guess once this little bit of welding and tightening up is done, then it's ready to hang this by these rubber mounts here, hang underneath the car, or in the van, hang this back on, slide this part back over the axle, hang this guy back up, and then just try to get these pipes into position, tack weld it, and then weld it the best I can. I can't do no more, so and just keep plugging away. We'll get it done. Alright guys, this is the end of my exhaust project. Let me tell you, I take my hat off to anybody that welds exhaust. This took a lot of time for me to do this, and it looks pretty bad. But this is the end of the project for me. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to, maybe for the next 2 or 3 weekends, I'm just going to grind down some of these bad boogers on these welds and kind of fill them in the best I can. I have little air holes all over the exhaust, but you know, it's the best that I can do. Back here I grind down some here. I'll grind down some around this O2 flange here that I cut out and tried to weld back in. I made a mistake here where when I was putting the cat in, it kind of rotated to the side just a little bit here. So it should be flat, but it rotated a little bit on me when I was working on this end and trying to get this flush back here, and it kind of rotated on me over here. That's okay. I really tried my best to do this exhaust, but again, this is not a how-to video, guys. This is just an encouragement video. So if you guys out here, you know, you want to try to weld, I'm like, you know, go for it. You know what I mean? You're not going to mess anything up. This is an old van, and I'll tell you the truth, in my state, New Jersey, this van is too old for safety check and emission testing. So I could have put a straight pipe on here and no one would have cared, but here I am trying to, you know, do what I can to, you know, keep my little van on the road here. But you know, but like I said, this is just an encouragement video. If you want to weld, go for it. Obviously watch more than one video than I did. I don't have any guys that weld or anything like that, but you know, just like little air holes back and forth on this exhaust, and I'll just keep grinding it down and, you know, add more flux. Time goes on. You know, it's up there. My first welding job, I give myself a C minus. Would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again for myself, but I wouldn't actually charge anybody to do anything like this. This is pretty bad, but it's up there. It's holding. O2 sensors are on. These little brackets are on. Everything's on together. The flex pipe, you know what I mean? Not bad, but again, just an encouragement. Hope everybody's doing okay, and hope everybody enjoyed their summer. Talk to you guys soon. God bless.